Have you ever wondered what separates a sim racing pro from a noob? I put 50 of my subscribers' laps together so we can see just that. It might look like a chaotic mess right now, but trust me, we're going to separate the good from the bad to the outright ugly. Oh, and at the end, we'll even be exposing a hacker and seeing the difference between a legit and hacked world record. You won't want to miss it. Analysing your own driving can be tough. There are nearly infinite variables at play. Lines, pedal input, steering, and even tyre utilisation. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with a million-bajillion-gazillion pieces, except you're blind and don't have any hands. But after watching this video, you'll gain a far greater understanding of the difference between a good lap and a great one. So what does it really take to shave those precious seconds off your lap time? Let's start by looking at the fastest lap, a mid lap, and the slowest lap. We're going to break down exactly what sets them apart, other than increasing levels of skill issue. Right from the start line, you can start to see some major differences, and a direct correlation between car positioning and lap time. The fastest car hugs the very edge of the track, using every single inch available, while the slower cars are placed increasingly towards the centre. In most cases, using the entire track isn't just a suggestion, it's a necessity. I want you to try imagining driving around a big circle versus a small one. On the larger circle, you'd be able to maintain higher speeds because the turn isn't as sharp. Then if we place this large circle over a corner, this is what we call the geometric line, or the fastest way through. But if you shift this geometric line even a foot away from the edge of the track and decrease its radius, it will massively impact the speed you can take through it, unless you're a hacker of course. But lines are just the beginning. As the cars spread out down the straight, watch closely. It's not about who brakes last or accelerates first, but who does both at the most opportune moment. The fastest car executes perfect braking and acceleration, allowing for seamless corner entry and exit. Meanwhile, the other cars struggle with under and oversteer, battling to keep control. While the erratic driving may look fast, it's about as quick as a Gran Turismo player trying a real simulator for the first time. Their pedal inputs look like they're in a tap dancing competition, while the fastest lap is pure and precise and uses the pedals with finesse. These relatively small differences lead to a significant 1 second gap between each of the cars after the first few corners. The lesson here is that simply braking the latest and hardest probably won't make you the next Verstappen. Oh, never mind. The difference is clear between a fast, mid and slow lap, but what if you're trying to squeeze out those last hundredths of a second to make a perfect trip around a circuit? Let's compare two laps with just 1/40th of a second between them. And trust me, it is fascinating. But before that, let's take a moment. What if I told you there's a game with endless content and a chance to win some insane prizes this holiday season? Let me tell you about it. Because not only can you grab some epic rewards, but you can also enter to win a $5,000 holiday shopping spree, gaming console, or even a smartphone. This game has it all. AAA graphics, epic champions, and so many ways to play. Whether you're diving into campaigns, exploring dungeons, or battling in the arena, it's perfect for casual and competitive gamers alike. And with the new holiday event starting December 5th, you can save Santa, throw snowballs, and win amazing real-life prizes. Go to xmas.raidrpg.com and enter your raid ID within 24 hours of downloading to take part. Winter is here, and Raid's icy-themed champions are ready to chill your enemies. Let me introduce you to two of my favourites. First up, Sir Nicholas for the Sacred Order. This guy is a powerhouse. His unkillable and shield buffs make him a lifesaver in tough fights. Plus, his freeze debuffs on enemies make him a nightmare to deal with in the arena. Next, meet Tormund the Cold, a legendary dwarf with devastating AoE freeze abilities. Build him right and he'll dominate in wave-based content and the arena, locking down enemy teams before they can even act. Both of these champions are not only powerful, but also have stunning designs that scream winter's might. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description or scan my QR code to download Raid today. Not only will you immediately get a huge starter pack with the epic champion Ugo, but you'll get another pack after reaching level 15 that includes Epic Fane, one of the best champions in the game. Also use promo code Monkey King to get legendary champion Sun Wukong for free. This code's only available till Jan 7th, so act sharp. And also, don't miss a chance to join my clan and fight alongside me. Let's conquer Talaria together. As Darlin enters the corner early, utilising the geometric line, another style of cornering emerges. Alex focuses on a late apex, emphasising hard braking and acceleration over corner speed. By getting the car pointed out of the corner sooner, Alex hits full throttle earlier and accelerates in a straighter line, pulling ahead on the straightaway. What Alex is using is the ideal line. As you gain experience in sim racing, you'll learn that each corner can't be considered in isolation. Alex prioritises his exit speed due to the straight that follows. This approach allows for a higher top speed on said straight, which gives a noticeable advantage over Darlin. It shows just how critical it is to prioritise straight line speed, even at the expense of cornering, which is something we'll see again when we analyse the Hacker's lap. Now you may be wondering why the fastest lap from earlier didn't use the ideal line. This is where things start to get a little nerdy. If we examine Lacuna's mid-corner phase, you'll notice massive trail braking and a downshift to increase slip angle. The car rotates as it approaches the apex, with the tyres slightly over the limit. No, he's not oversteering or drifting, but it's just the tyres deforming under stress, changing the car's direction of travel. So even while on the geometric line, Lacuna sets up for a straighter corner exit than Alex on the ideal one, reaching full throttle sooner and maintaining the lead along the straight. This is the subtle difference between a good lap and the best lap. Returning to the laps that were 1/40th of a second apart, we see Darlin with the geometric line and Alex with the ideal one once more. Alex brakes earlier and gets on the throttle sooner, but Darlin's precision is superior. He hits max braking instantly, then trails off, whereas Alex brakes less aggressively and needs to modulate the throttle to avoid understeer. This tiny lift off the throttle is literally just wasted energy, as the car accelerates and then slows down slightly. By trailing the brakes longer like Darlin, Alex could have got a better entry to the corner and then got to full throttle immediately. It's these minute details that can make or break a lap. It's not something that can be taught either. All of this is happening on a subconscious level, and the only way you can correct these tiny mistakes is through experience. It's estimated that by the age of 20, a future F1 star has already spent around 12,000 hours of their life driving on track, whilst a sim racer of the same age would almost certainly have an average of less than 1,000. That is the difference. If you want to become fast, all you gotta do is drive. Interestingly, all of the fastest lap times were set using force feedback wheels. Gamepad and mouse and keyboard players, as well as those without force feedback, languished at the bottom of the leaderboard. Anyway, there was one standout driver, Mr. Ripley, who beat a bunch of wheel users on a gamepad. Let's compare his lap to one sit on a wheel. Let's look at his braking into T1. You would expect the wheel user to enter first due to easier braking modulation, yet Ripley's free brake pump shed just enough speed for a controlled corner entry. His full throttle oversteer corrections are equally as impressive. If you ever try playing assetto corsa on a gamepad, you'll know just how impressive that is. Ripley has no force feedback and is working off pure visuals. His range of motion in the pedals and steering is also severely smaller. Yet, despite lacking a wheel, Ripley outperformed many wheel users, proving that controller players can be fast with enough dedication. However, it demands a completely different technique and I am nowhere near qualified to try and teach it. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to expose the hacked lap. At first glance, it seems ordinary. It's not the best lap ever set, and looking at it, there doesn't seem to be any foul play. But when placed next to the fastest legitimate lap, things start to get a little sus. As the cars approach T1, the cheater pulls ahead, which isn't immediately sus. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe he just got a great launch out for the final turn, and both drivers even utilise slip angle pretty well to straighten their drives out of T1, although the hacker begins to oversteer. Normally, oversteering limits acceleration, as the tyres don't have grip, leading to a poorer and slower corner exit. Yet, the hacker gains speed mid-slide, overtaking the legitimate racer with ease, which is a hallmark of grip packs. The hacker's pedal inputs are suspect too. While not a bad driver, his trail braking is rough compared to Lacuna's finesse, and despite not using the entire track, the hacker somehow gains a better drive out of the turn. The story repeats itself at the next hairpin, where Lacuna somehow outbrakes the cheater, but going on to the following straight, the raw acceleration of the hacker makes it look like he's driving a totally different car. And if we set a speed trap at the end of the straight, the hacker is travelling a whopping 6 miles per hour faster. This is what engine hacks look like. But due to this higher speed, he proceeds to take a shockingly bad line into turn 12, the worst I saw out of any lap. Yet by some divine miracle, the lap ends with a photo finish. So if their driving resembles that of an 8-year-old Forza player, yet they set alien times, you might want to investigate further. But always remember to do your research and be absolutely 100% sure they're hacking before you accuse them, and get the evidence too. Don't forget to download Raid Shadow Legends and get your epic rewards.